What's going on? This isn't. Make sure my green screen's in the frame. This isn't the start of the video. This is being the future. Editor cam. Let me tell you guys something. The reason why the gameplay might be looking a little weird is because I was having trouble with the sprinting in Call of Duty. There's so many different settings now. Like you can toggle, hold, go to. Like it's a bunch of weird stuff. And I was struggling the whole time trying to just sprint. So it's a lot of me like walking around, half sprinting, pressing a lot of wrong buttons. But don't mind that. Enjoy the video. What I'm going to talk about is that there's been a lot of reports coming out that Call of Duty is going to come to the Switch. And I'm just going to give my general thoughts on it. And the main thing that I'm worried about is just like how are they going to go about doing this? Because there's some issues that obviously come to mind, and we're going to go through some of them. So first thing is, how is it going to run? That's the biggest thing. Because if you don't have a Nintendo Switch, or if you haven't looked at any games that are on other consoles like Xbox One, PS4, PS5 that are on Switch, you might want to go take a look at it. I would say specifically ones that you will really be able to see just off gate. Look at MK11 on Switch. You know how MK11 looks on Xbox, PlayStation, all that. Look at how it is on the Switch. And then I just looked at some Overwatch videos that were on the Switch, and they're not that great. And now I'll tell you a personal experience that I had. I had to make sure my door was closed. I'll tell you a personal experience that I had. I ended up getting 2K20 on the Switch about a couple years ago, and I only got it on the Switch because it was $5. Right? I'm like, $5? Why not? Now, my experience is I played it until the servers went down. In all honesty, it was $5. I bought it, see how it was. While I was actually playing the games, like actual in the games, it ran fine. Everywhere else, it was bad. It lagged all through my career in the cutscenes. It lags on the intros, like in the games where they like show like the shot of the crowd and the players. Lags in there. There's like, even while the game was playing well, during the basketball games, like through the quarters, it played well, but the characters had like graphic, like weird graphical glitches. Like some players like wouldn't have hair. A lot of times, like at the free throw lines, there would be like this weird like lip glitch. Like everybody's like lips were like kind of weird and off colored. Like it just wasn't like it was a little weird. But I paid $5 for it, knowing that it probably wasn't gonna be the best. And now, you know what? For $5, I wasn't too mad, right? Because I can play it like this, and play 2K. Which the premise of playing Call of Duty on this is like very tempting, but I just don't know how well, like I don't really have that much hope for it. If I just dropped my Switch, but I got carpet, so we good. I don't know what's really gonna come out of it, cause in tablet mode, the Switch only goes up to 720, and then you put it in the dock and it goes to 1080. But just how is active? Like how are they going to do this? Like, are they just simply gonna try to port the game over? Because I would assume that that's why 2K ran the way it did, is because it was just ported over without any like real concern. And I haven't played 2K21, 22, or 23 on Switch. I don't plan to. Honestly, let's take a little intermission, and I'm gonna see how much is 2K, the newer 2Ks on Switch right now. Can you even get them? As we do this, actually, it's already loaded up. I had went to the Nintendo Online instead of the eShop. Okay, so interestingly enough, 2K23 is actually on sale on the Switch for $20. Would not do that. Everything else is full price. What? That's crazy. And the Michael Jordan edition of NBA 2K23 is on sale for $40. There's 3 days remaining on it as the day I am recording. Will it show actual? Can I see some reviews? Has anybody got this? I'm looking through the little preview things, and it's looking kind of switchy. Of course, they don't have reviews on here, but let's go into what I hope will happen and what I think the best route will be for Call of Duty to go right about this. I really hope that they take the time to optimize it for the Switch. So basically make a whole separate, I don't know the full dynamics of game development, but maybe you have to just make an alternate version that can actually run on a Switch, right? Because there are obviously games that look good on the Switch, but graphically they're not as intense as Call of Duty. And there might be other shooters that are on the Switch that look similar to Call of Duty that run well, but that takes effort, and it's like you are creating it with the limitation of the hardware in mind. So one thing I really hope, and I hope this is like the first thing they do, I hope they have like a version of Warzone, like a free version, like put out Warzone for free in some way, shape, or form to test the waters. Now, because I'll admit I'm interested enough to try to play it, but me knowing how some of these other games run on Switch, I'm not paying. I'm honestly, if it's not extremely low, like under 10, which is very unlikely unless it's like free Warzone, I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna buy it. And I think that's probably a bad move, because then you're already kind of you I feel like it's kind of starting off on the wrong foot, because if it's very bad and then you're charging people $60 for it and people are excited like, oh man, Call of Duty is finally on Switch, and then it's terrible, you're already shooting yourself in the foot right when you started. So I hope that there is a free Warzone. Like they do Warzone first. I want them to do Warzone first, test the waters, let everyone, have it free, just get people in there, and then just see how it is. And then, maybe after that you can make adjustments, and then it'll actually run better, and then you can go from there. Versus just trying to making the game and then just launching it and then just selling it full price, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But if they do, it's going to be a shit show. And I feel like it's already looking to be like that. But the only thing that I can suggest that would be helpful is just putting out Warzone and, just taking the time to make sure it can actually run, right? And that's another thing where I'm kind of torn about, is that like, is Activision gonna take the time to actually like make the game, like maybe it is almost to the point where you have to make a whole separate Call of Duty game for the Switch. So maybe it's that, instead of like, we're just gonna port over these stuff, port over these other games, because it's not gonna work that well. I don't think. And it's funny because a while ago, like years ago, before the Switch came out, I was doing YouTube, and that channel before is like long gone. But I had made a similar video talking about Nintendo, because they were saying Overwatch is gonna come to the Switch, which it is on the Switch, and Mortal Kombat 11, and I talked about those two specifically. And I said in that video, I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work, because it's not gonna be able to run that well. right? Like the Switch can only do so much, and the games that it's known for aren't really that great graphically, right? Like it's not groundbreaking in any like extent. It's just there are franchises that are well loved and they're doing new things with. Like Pokemon graphically isn't on the level of Call of Duty. Legend of Zelda isn't. You know, um, what's the game I'm thinking about? Bro, what is it? It's escaping me, bro. And I don't play it, but what's the game that Village is from? Animal Crossing, right? Yeah, Animal Crossing. The way those games look and the audience this is for, it's like it's not the same thing as Call of Duty, right? Like Nintendo has like a certain style of games that will work really well on that system. So unless Activision is willing to take the time to actually have a game that runs well on it, or if they're just gonna throw it over there just so they can say it's on all platforms, it's gonna end up bad. An interesting thing is that when I posted that video, I probably got the most views as of then of a video that I ever was in or made, but it had the most dislikes. So I don't know if there was just Nintendo fans that are just like hating on me because I didn't think it could do it. But in retrospect, years and years, I was completely right, because those games like 2K, even though I said it runs good, it doesn't run as well as it was on a console. Like it's still not, they don't run optimal, right? Like there's absolutely no reason for you to get 2K on the Switch instead of getting 2K on like PS5. Like it's not, it is like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna get the Switch version instead of the PS5 version. No, and same for MK11. There's no reason for you to get the Switch version unless you just want a version of it to play handheld, and you have to know off gate when you're doing that with some of these other games that it's not gonna run well. So you should already know that going in, right? And plus, in terms of like how like online, in most cases they don't really cross over with Switch. Like some games do. Like I have Power Rangers Battle for the Grid on every console except I don't have an Xbox, but I have it on PC. I have it on PS4. I don't have a PS5. I have it on PC. Did I mention Switch, PC, PS4? Right, and that can crossplay and it runs well. But graphically, the game is like simpler than others, right? But that's just it. Really, I'm just really spitballing right now because I've just been seeing it a lot, so I figured I would talk about it. Don't know when this is gonna get uploaded. Maybe soon. I have no idea. But we'll just, we'll see what happens with Call of Duty. Like I said, I'm interested in it. Hopefully, if Warzone comes out first, I'll definitely try it out. If I have to pay for anything else, absolutely not. You can get somebody else to waste their money, but not me. So yeah. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you later.